Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are from Peking University, and today we are very glad to be the first one to present. I believe everyone wants to decorate your houses beautifully. So today, our target company, Opai, is an expert in customized furnishing in China. And we give a buy recommendation on this company. We figure out 3 merits. First, a promising industry with increasing penetration rate. Second, strong competitive position as a leading player. And third, solid growth prospect with high profitability. There are also several risks, but we believe Opai can mitigate them and realize a 19% upside potential. On December 7, 2018, the stock price was 84.01, and our 12-month target price is 99.96. So what does Opai do? It is a leading customized manufacturer in China. Under its whole house solution, it produces customized cabinets that can be used in a whole house. For example, kitchen cabinets, wardrobe, interior doors, and bathroom products. It also has 2 brands, Opai and Apolia, targeting different groups of people. It has more manufacturing centers in China. And in terms of the corporate governance, it has a background in aerospace industry. And also it has profit community with the Chinese largest furnishing shopping malls. And also the stock incentive plan successfully motivates its employees. So how does Opai sell the products? It is mainly on the B2C model. Over 80% of the sales are contributed by the distributors using the offline sales stores. And 13% of the revenue comes from the business with real estate developers. Also, Opai started to promote sales by cooperating with the decorating companies. We believe a promising industry will drive Opai to grow. So what are the driving factors for this industry? First, increasing urbanization rate. Second, growing disposable personal income. And third, the space utilization rate required by the small-sized home. Now, in China, the industry has already reached 900 billion. However, the customized industry, the penetration rate is only 30%. This number in developed countries is 60. So we expect the penetration rate to continue growing. So how large is a cake? By using this formula and making several assumptions, we predict the market will grow from 253 billion to 406 billion in 2022, showing a 5-year CAGR of over 12%. Now, about the competitive positioning right now. There are thousands of players in this market, but top 10 players contribute only 12.1%. So this industry is highly fragmented, and Opai is the top one in this industry with a market share of 4%. But if we take a look in other countries, in Korea, the top first player, Handsome, accounts for 40, and Nobia in Europe accounts for 15, and Master Brand in the US accounts for 20. So we believe Opai should earn more market share. We do a qualified forces analysis here, and we highlight the intensive competition. Intensive competition leads to a price war, which means it will negatively affect the profitability. However, it can help squeeze out small firms, which can give Opai more market share. So why do we think Opai can win? Now let's welcome my teammate to introduce the advantages.
Now let's review the competitive advantages of Opai. We can see that Opai's cost decreased gradually from 2014 to 2017. The decrease in cost mainly came from the flexible mass production and bulk purchase contract. Flexible mass production can lower the manufacturing cost due to high utilization of materials, and bulk purchase contract allow Opai to have a higher discount to save material cost. Moreover, Opai increased sales by route theory. Distributors are Opai's main sales channel. We can see that the number of Opai's distributors is much larger than its competitors. The root theory that we can imagine Opai as a tree and its distributors are its roots. Basically, distributors with better sales performance can enjoy a higher discount. Therefore, to earn more money, distributors will try to sell more for Opai. Due to higher discount, Opai has a lower gross profit margin than its competitors. However, Opai's distributors have higher net profit margin. In other words, OPAI sacrifices short-term profit to build a long-lasting relationship with its distributors. And we strongly believe that this long-lasting relationship can help OPAI survive from the price war. OPAI's brand recognition brings a brand premium, which can be seen from the graph. And the brand premium is driven by three factors. First, eco-friendly manufacturing process and materials guaranteeing the high quality of products. Second, good after-sales service brings the best user's experience. Third, the OPAI knows Chinese culture better. Moreover, a famous brand can attract more customers, especially in China, because Chinese people prefer to decorating their houses by themselves instead of constructing firms. And now let's welcome my teammate to introduce financial analysis.
Let's start with revenue. OPAI has experienced rapid growth during the past because of the development of market and its strong competitive advantages. In the future, we assume OPAI's revenue will continue to grow but at a moderate pace, driven by the increasing volume. We predict the price will be stable because of the existence of both positive and negative factors. OPAI's net gross profit margin will be stable in the future due to the cost efficiency brought by the mass production and its strong bargaining power. The wardrobe and cabinets gross profit will be stable due to the competitive market, while the other two sectors' gross profit margin will increase to industry average due to its market share is increasing. For SG&A, the overall trend will be rise first and then fall down, as shown on the slide. We assume OPAI's debt ratio will at 3%. We discovered that most of its liabilities are current liabilities, and depositor receipt account majority of its current liabilities, which we think is in line with its business model. However, as the current ratio is larger than 1, we think OPAI is still safe. Let's talk about free cash flow. We have two reasons to support that OPAI's free cash flow will continue to grow. The first one, OPAI has strong free cash flow conversion ability. The second one, OPAI is improving its operating efficiency by information system. Our valuation consists 70% of DCF and 30% for multiple valuation, and our target price is 99.96. For DCF, based on the previous analysis, we think OPAI's WACC will at 11.91%, and the terminal growth rate will be at 2%. Then we use three-stage model to calculate our final price as 100.55. For multiple valuation, based on historical data and OPAI's leading position, we give OPAI 25% and 30% premium to calculate our final price. For the risk analysis, we identify several risks, but most two important are increasing competition and the real estate market downturn. From this picture, we can see the real estate market cyclicity will affect the furnishing market. That means OPAI's performance will be affected by the downturn of real estate market. However, will it affect OPAI largely? Our answer is no. We have three reasons to support our answer. The first one is increasing old house renovation will mitigate this impact. Second one, OPAI's new low-end brand, Opolia, will bring OPAI more customers. The third one is cooperating with local decorations will enhance OPAI's sales ability. We have another example to support our point. That is the leader player in Korea, Handsome. As you can see from 2007 to 2015, Handsome got rid of the impact of real estate market. Well, the strategy Handsome used are exactly the same with OPAI. That's why we think OPAI can get rid of this impact. Our sensitivity analysis also support our point. So even we assume that OPAI as the most unfortunate company, with the scenario analysis also indicate a limited decline. All in all, we have three merits and three concerns. However, we think its merits will overwhelm its concerns. That's why we issue back recommendation. And that's all about our presentation. Thank you very much.
We welcome questions.
Open's prices compared to its competitors seem at a premium, and however their gross margins are relatively lower than the competitors. So why exactly is this in terms of cost of sales? How do they stand against their competitors on cost of sales?
Actually, we calculate the unit cost of sales, and compared with the second and third competitors, actually Oppai is pretty low. Its cost control is really good. It ranks top in the industry. However, but we see the number actually, the gross profit is 1 to 2% a margin lower than its top 2 and top 3. That's the reason is what we mentioned in the roots theory, which means because Oppai sells at a discount to its distributors, and they want to give some more profits to its distributors. So they intend to do this.
Hi, just a question on page 18. So, what drives CapEx and why do you have it declining?
For the CapEx, the first decline is the high CapEx in recent years is because of Oppai is expanding its production base. So you can see the free cash flow is negative in 2018. But for the next 3 years, we calculate according to their plan in the annual report. And for the rest of the year, first we will predict the sales of the Oppai. Then we estimate the capital utilization, and we combine these two numbers to calculate the following capex. For the decline, we think that because it has a large production base, so we think it will decline in the future.
Yeah. On page 21, I noticed that you use a premium of 30% from the peer medium of EV/EBITDA, and the premium of 25% from the peer medium of PE multiples. Can you explain why you use 30% and 25%?
Well, the reason has two. The first one is according history data, the premium for EV/EBITDA is 27%, and the historical premium for PE is 23%. And we consider Oppai will gain more market shares, so it will enhance its leadership. So in the future, we give a little bit more premium at 30% and 25%.
I guess my major concern would be about the Chinese real estate market, the property market. Could you just talk a bit more about why you're so comfortable that we won't see a particular cyclical impact for the company over the coming years?
Yeah, as you can see, we have talked about the downturn of real estate market. It's true, everyone in China care about it. But you can see that the first reason is the increase in old house renovation will mitigate this effect, because the proportion of old house renovation is increasing during the year. Second one, Oppai has to do some preparations for this decline. First is the new low-end brand to acquire more customers. The second one is cooperating with the local companies. And why we think their preparation will work is because we have an example, that's Hansen. Actually, Hansen did a very, very good job due to the 2007, 2015. And we analyzed why they can't get rid of this kind of impact just because of the strategy. And we found the strategy they choose are similar. So that's why we think the downturn will affect Oppai, but we think it will not be a catastrophe, or it will not affect it seriously. Thank you.
And can I add a little bit? Yeah, you can take a look at the sensitivity analysis in this graph, because here we can see that although there is a downturn in the real estate market, however, the Oppai's revenue growth will still maintain a pretty high level. The reason is that although the property market is not that good, but Oppai's market share will continue to increase. The penetration rate in this industry is low, and Oppai's market share as a leading player is low, and more people want to buy Oppai's products because of its high brand recognition. So this will bring Oppai a very good upside potential.
Hi, I have a question about corporate governance. It seems as though this company is a family-owned business in China. with the majority ownership in the family. Are there any corporate governance issues that might be of concern to investors?
Yes, of course, first, the founder, Yao Liangsong, it has already also over 60% of the total market share. So there are some concerns. However, what we think is, because OPA is in the growth stage, and the founder, it has high ownership, he has more power to know what to do, and he is very ambitious and quite, and he put the shareholders and as well as the company's benefits like.
Yeah, and actually our concern is about the concentration of such a high equity concentration. But actually we know there are good aspects and bad aspects, but we think in the early stage, in the growth stage of this company, we think the high concentration of this equity will help them not affected by the outsiders. This means that the leader can make more decisions, and because he knows the company better, he will lead the company to a better future. That's our concern, but we didn't find any bad points about this.
You have in page 16 increasing proportion of bulk business as SG&A decrease driver, right? Wouldn't that affect the margin of the gross margin in page 15? If you do go into the bulk business for kitchen cabinets or wardrobe?
The bulk business, do you mean the bulk business with the real estate developers?
Sorry, you mean the increase for SG&A?
Yeah, so you have bulk business increasing, right?
Yeah.
As a proportion of business. And would that affect the gross margin of kitchen cabinets or wardrobe?
Yes, we consider this reason. So that's why we slow it down a little bit about the future gross profit margin of wardrobe and cabinet. But actually, OPA announced that they don't want the bulk business to account for more than 20%. So we think it's also controllable. And also, as it's increasing its market share, its price may be a little bit higher than before. So we don't think it will affect it largely. So we have considered this factor in our valuation.
I have a question about the industry. Why is it that the China's market's so much more fragmented than other markets?
The first reason is that because China is so large, and actually local people just want the local companies to do the decoration companies, and so in every towns and in every cities there are decorating companies, and the decorating companies can make this furniture. So there are too many players right now. And however, we have looked at other markets like in Korea and in the US. They all experienced a period that there were so many players, but the top one player used the price war or set different targeting groups, and then they can successfully earn more market share.
And given the fragmented nature, what would you say is OPA's sustainable competitive advantage other than its brand name?
Can you repeat again?
Given the fragmented nature of the market, what would you say is OPA's sustainable competitive advantage other than its brand name?
A strong channel ability, because it has over 6,700 sales stores across China, deeply rooted in small places, and the strong channel ability can give it a competitive edge.
And I want to add one more thing, that is the brand premium, because for this kind of industry, premium is very important, because if the customer know your brand, they will buy this. This is low frequency consumer goods, not high frequency. So once they recommend your brand, they will prefer to buy your brand in the future.
Do you think we'll see them making acquisitions of some of their competitors? Often with fragmented industries, that's the way that competitors consolidate.
No, actually we didn't see any acquisition. And
Mergers and acquisitions can be a strategy because for Handsome in Korea, it acquires its competitors.